I thought I had that set on the countdown to 5 seconds.
Yeah, apparently it didn't.
That's because I'm using the DJI Go application.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear me because we're using the Osmo Mobile, and there is no external mic. It's actually the phone mic, and we're using the front-facing camera right now. If I was using my other mobile or Osmo, I'd have that shotgun mic, and you'd probably be able to hear it better. That looked obscene. Welcome everybody to another daily vlog, a vlog that happens pretty much daily. Today, from my son's couch. That's him.
Hello.
That's him. That's my son. Last night, we did a lot of things that we were not planning on doing. We actually went to Universal Studios just to have some dinner, walk around with this new Osmo, kind of test it out. We were going to go play some putt-putt, eat, and have a few adult beverages. We ended up doing a lot more than we were actually planning on doing. Jen Vargas from Central Florida Top 5 ended up meeting us at the Hard Rock, and he decided to go online and check out if the new virtual reality haunted house, The Repository, had any vacancies and was available for that night. And me, because I've had a little bit too many adult beverages, said, what the heck? Once he quoted me the price, I don't want to say how much it was. It's a week's paycheck for a lot of people, what I paid for 3 of us to go into the repository. It was very, very expensive to go in a haunted house where you just slap on an Oculus Rift. But that being said, we kind of wanted to discuss our 3 top things about the repository and the 3 worst things about the repository. So I don't know. I liked it. I don't regret us doing it at all. Because it's new. It's something, virtual reality isn't mainstream yet, and the technology of being able to put on a VR headset and walk you around a room in a totally immersive environment was unique. But yeah, so what do you want to do? Do you want to do the top 3 things?
Let's start off with, what did you like most about the repository?
Mine, not the haunted house itself, but there's no queue line for the repository. It starts out over by Blue Man Group. You walk into a door with a room filled with a bunch of round tables where you sit down and you sign these waivers that you won't sue if you get injured, and they bring you more adult beverages. I liked talking to the staff. They were open. They let me videotape while we were signing the waivers and kind of explain what we were going through. So that was probably my first favorite thing, was being able to sit down and talk to the people and how they guide you through everything before you put the headsets on.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Me, it was the first rooms, because in the repository they have stage actors, what are they called?
Scare actors.
No, it was improv. They're improv actors. They don't go by any script.
Yeah, they don't, do they?
No.
Yeah.
And
I think they probably have a guideline, but they can go off that guideline.
yeah, to an extent, of course.
Yeah.
But that first guy, that was the improv actor, I liked him the best. It was probably my favorite scene in that entire haunted house.
Yeah, it's not just, you just don't walk in when you and put the Oculus Rift on. You just don't do that. First, you go in. It's like the show starts once you stand up from the table, and these military type people kind of come out and get you, and they're kind of bossy and stern and come with us, and they walk you into like the collector on the Avengers. So it's like you're walking into the collector's room, and there's all sorts of collections on the walls and stuff like that. So it's not just a virtual reality, you're also in a real environment. So yeah, that was...
I would say that was probably more similar to Warehouse 13, though.
Warehouse 13?
Yeah, the TV show.
I've never seen it.
Well, there's something else for you to watch.
I thought you were thinking District 9, but no. Yeah, not District 9. But yeah, so that was kind of cool how the live actors, you deal with these live, you're like in the middle of a play. I think they're Tony and Tina's Wedding, that Broadway play where the audience becomes participants in the action, and that's kind of what this was like. So you're going through different rooms and different scenes, and you're part of the action. And the people are talking to you, you're responding back to them.
They're touching you.
They're allowed to touch you. You sign a waiver, so the actors are allowed to touch you. That was unique too.
Yeah, that's probably the first haunted house I've ever been to where they could actually go like that.
Yeah, and I mean they're touching your head. They're throughout the different parts. Even when you have the Oculus Rift on, I was touched, breathed on, and guided around a little bit. So it was kind of unique. There was a scene when I had the Oculus Rift on where a bunch of bats. I think there was a bunch of bats. Did you have that in your? Because there was 3 of us, and we all worked together. But I was in a different room than they were. But I could see their animated characters. But there was one scene where I was looking over a cliff. The bricks were away from my feet, and I looked out, and there was something wasn't sure what I was trying to grab. But it was over the cliff's edge, and I was trying to grab it, and all these bats came. And there was wind, and you could feel the bats flying around you, and then I think people were touching me. I don't know. So that was your favorite part, was the initial guy that reminded you of Doctor Who.
Yeah, but I'll admit my second favorite part was the psychotic guy. The one that's talking about keys and all that.
Yeah, the scare actors and
He was
the one-on-one interaction was really well done. It was actually that I like that better than putting on the Oculus and doing the 3D environments.
Well, the thing is, my 3 favorite things are all the actors, depending on which actor.
Yeah. I would have to say I agree that being in the live action part of it and being a part of everything was probably my second favorite thing.
I don't really care for the Oculus Rift thing, though.
So we'll do the 3 worst things. Well, what's your second favorite thing, other than the live actors?
Well, minus the live actors, it would probably be the storyline that went into the repository. It's interesting. It's kind of an RPG puzzle game, kind of like a Lara Croft type thing. I like that.
My second is the live actors. So the first was the introduction. My second favorite thing was being in the environments, live actors without the Oculus Rift on, I would say.
Yeah.
So what's your third favorite thing? We're only doing 3
We're
goods,
all-
3 bad.
3 of us had to work to get through that last puzzle to come out of the repository alive.
It's kind of cool how it's interactive. My third favorite thing was the very end when you exit, and the cast members and stuff like that. When you go out to take your photographs with some of the characters, and one of the girls, she was amazing. She was like part of
Chance
Chance's
2.0.
Yeah, she was like Chance 2.0. She was amazing. I made a little reference to Tim the Tracker and Jen the Tracker, and she knew who they were, and she did some comments on my video for me, and that was pretty amazing. So I like the very end as you exit, and the interaction you get with the characters outside. That was my third favorite thing.
Yeah.
You like that part too?
Yeah, I liked her psychotic acting.
Oh yeah, she was great. She was awesome. She even did Tim's little mustache. If you know who Tim the Tracker is, he has a
French
mustache. Yeah, he has a mustache.
The
And
curly
she,
Q.
She did that with her fingers. It was fun. So, 3 worst things about the repository. You first.
Alright, my first least favorite thing, the Oculus Rift.
Why is that?
I
It's high tech.
It-
Why do you not
it's
like?
high tech, but the thing is, how they did it in there, they could have made it 100% better. It had pretty crappy graphics for that one area.
Yeah, the Oculus Rift is the worst part of putting the VR headset on. That was my number 1 worst thing also. Just because, like he said, I've seen better graphics on Google Cardboard. It's great being able to be in an open environment, walk around.
Oh, that kept us in a circle, that was it.
I don't know, I had the Oculus Rift on. I felt like I was walking around. No one touched me and stopped me from walking. Because I know what the Oculus Rift does. If you get close to a wall, this red grid comes up showing you that there's something, you're getting close to hitting something, so you know to back up a little bit. And so I knew how the Oculus worked. But the graphics, yeah, it was, Atari 2600 has better graphics than than this haunted house had.
The 3DO.
Yeah, the 3DO definitely. But I was like, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Let's just put it that way. And what's your second worst thing?
Wasn't worth the price.
Are you reading my mind?
No.
That's exactly my second thing too. It's not worth the price of admission for that one haunted house. I'm not going to say how much it cost because it's very, like I said, it's at least one person. If you have a normal weekly job, it's a week's paycheck. That's how much for three of us. It was a week's paycheck for somebody. You know,
Yeah.
It was. It's close to one of your week's paychecks.
I get paid bi-weekly, and it was close to that.
Yeah, he gets paid every 2 weeks.
And I make over $11 an hour.
And what we paid to get in just for this one haunted house would have eaten up his 2 weeks paycheck. So yeah, price, it wasn't worth the price of admission.
No.
I mean, the experience to be able to be one of the first people to do it was pretty awesome, but it was still not worth the price of admission.
Yeah, they got a few kinks to work out on it.
Definitely. So what's your second worst?
You mean third?
What's your third worst?
Actually, I will be honest, I don't think I have a third worst. I think those two were it.
I had a third worst, but I forgot it. We should have wrote these down. I did have a third worst.
I didn't. I'll be honest on that. Because the Oculus and the price were literally the only two things I didn't like about it. I liked that it ended up where you actually exit into the Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's cool.
I liked all the actors. I just didn't care for the price of the Oculus.
Yeah, I want to see more from an Oculus Rift. I really do. And I was expecting big things from this, and it just didn't happen. But, is that a cat? It is. There's a cat right here. But that's our honest opinions of Halloween Horror Night 26, The Repository, which is a virtual reality haunted house. The first of its kind, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they have roller coasters where you wear Samsung Gear VRs, but this was more high-tech and more interactive than a roller coaster. This is an actual house. You walk in, and I thought it was going to be a haunted house type thing where you go room to room and spirits would come out at you and stuff like that. But it was more of a dungeon crawler.
It was like a Lara Croft,
Yeah.
first Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it was like if I was Link,
Yeah.
basically, because you put your hand out and you're holding something and you could see it. I'm not sure what it was. It was a wand that looked like a hand, and I thought I was going to be able to cast spells and stuff like that in a dungeon. That's what it reminded me of, but with vector type graphics. The bricks, if I look down, the bricks were vector. They were like playing asteroids.
Yeah. Then they started falling away.
Yeah, they started falling away. It was more vector graphics.
Actually, what's that dragon game that you liked?
Dragon's Lair?
Yes,
That's a cartoon though.
but that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dragon's Lair if Dragon's Lair was vector graphics. And you're in a room full of vector graphics. So, experience, thumbs up. For me, anyway.
The experience, the actors, yeah, I give
Yeah.
it a thumbs up.
Yeah, so I don't regret us doing it at all. You know, it's a once-a-year deal. So, would I do it again? Not this season. Maybe next Halloween they'll up it a little bit and it'll be better.
That's because we went to Halloween Horror Nights twice this season. So.
Yeah. Halloween Horror Nights, even though we didn't have fast passes and we only had 2 hours of Halloween Horror Nights because we went in at 11 o'clock at night,
We still hit
we
three
still
or
hit
four
300
haunted
houses. Yeah. And they
All
got
the
better
scare
from opening
zones.
night.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, Krampus, thumbs up. Even The Exorcist got better.
Yeah,
So,
I got puked on a lot more than The Exorcist.
and also what became my favorite haunted house,
The American Horror Stories.
American Horror Story, is now my favorite haunted house because of last night. They had a lot of good scares in it this time, whereas before I noticed you were walking behind me and one of the leather people.
Yeah,
got
he
you.
went like,
Yeah.
oh, he didn't get me. He just,
Oh, he got you. You scared. You were scared.
no.
Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign off. That's just, I'm going to leave him, you knowing that he's a chicken in haunted houses. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you come to Orlando and go to Halloween Horror Nights, give the repository a try if you think it's worth the cost. For me, if I was going again tonight or tomorrow night or next week, I would not do it again.
No.
Wouldn't do it again. All right, people. I'm going to get up and turn. I don't have face tracking on. I should put face tracking on because my Osmo has face tracking.
Yeah,
But I
I'll follow
haven't.
you.
I haven't tested that yet, and I'm not going to test it now. Peace.